Alright everybody, it is 5:30 a.m. We are just hitting the road now. We're in Riverton, Wyoming. Did not get a whole lot of sleep last night. We were in a hotel. It was kind of noisy, uncomfortable beds. You guys know the drill. We were about a 2-hour drive to our trailhead at Dickinson Park. It's kind of overcast, it's kind of smoky, sort of a bummer way to start a trip, but we're committed, we're gonna hit the road. Alright, I gotta show you the craziest part of this campsite. This is like, I don't know, 60 meters away? You know, just a couple hundred feet from our tents. Look at this. That does not suck. So this is it. This is Cathedral Lake. This is where we're camping for night one. As you can see behind me, it does not suck. There is word of a storm coming in potentially, so fingers crossed that that doesn't hold true, but we're looking forward to some sunset action out here. We got some blue sky and some sun right now. This is not gonna suck, I don't think. What's up everybody? Start of day 2. We woke up in the rain, we packed up in the rain, we started hiking in the rain, so I haven't recorded anything until now. We finally got a break. Tyler and I started this morning with some horrendous bushwhacking. We, on the map, thought it was just like, oh, some casual hiking up a drainage, and it turned out to be like fallen logs the size of a building and boulders the size of school buses. And so we've gone like a single mile and it took us 2.5 hours and we're already exhausted, but as you can see, we made it into the clearing. We are just about to crest onto the ridge and start climbing up and over. And yeah, hopefully only another like 4 miles to camp. It's gonna get easier from here on out because we are no longer in that dense forest and it looks like the weather's holding. The hike proved to be way more difficult than we expected, and it was nearly 3 p.m. by the time we reached the top of the ridge. But eventually we did summit and had to pick our way down through an incredibly difficult scree field on the far side. And after nearly 12 hours of hiking, we finally arrived at camp, absolutely beat to death. And 5 minutes after we finished pitching our tents, the rain started. Okay, we finally made it to camp here. We are exhausted. It is pouring rain out there. You can see I have my pants and everything hanging up over here to dry. We're just starving to death, so we're gonna go cook dinner in the rain, which is never that fun. Yeah, this is the less glorious side of backpacking, but you know, we've come this far. We got a good campsite. Hopefully it's gonna clear up a little bit tomorrow, although that's not quite the prediction, but you know, it was a crazy hike we did today. It was predicted to rain the entire time, and we made it over that ridge without any, so I guess it's fair that we're getting a little bit now that we're here in camp. The rain continued all night and hard. Tyler and I both awoke in the middle of the night to find out that our tents are only mostly waterproof. After a night of mediocre, non-existent sleep, we packed up our soggy sleeping bags and our soggy tents and began a long and soggy hike to our next stop, Grave Lake. The storm was relentless and brought another brutal night of wind and rain, but finally broke right before sunrise. All right, finally, this is the first time we've seen the sun since arriving at our first campsite 4 days ago. You can probably see on my face the toll that it takes on you to sleep through gale force winds and rain for 3 nights straight. But we are so excited. We're finally seeing the sun. The storm is over. Look at that. And with the sun on our shoulders, we hit the trail again, heading out of the Popo Aggie wilderness and finally making our way towards the Cirque of the Towers. We were so fortunate to get a brief reprieve from the rain for our hike, covering nearly 10 miles that day. But as soon as we made camp, once again the weather quickly reverted. That night brought one of the most intense storms I've ever seen, complete with several inches of fresh snow. But as the sun rose, the clouds cleared and we finally had our opening to climb over Texas Pass into the Cirque of the Towers. The climb over Texas Pass is not easy with fresh snow, but the Cirque marked the last campsite of our trip, and with the weather finally changing for the better, we found ourselves in fantastic spirits. We found an incredible campsite with adorable neighbors, and we were treated to a spectacular sunset and watched the stars come out. So finally, we are getting a sunrise. On the second to last day of our trip, we're finally getting some good shooting conditions. I have the A7S III here running a time lapse. It's been going for about 45 minutes. I'm pretty excited about that one. It's perfectly clear to the east, cloudy to the west. That's exactly what you want. So we got the early morning sun hitting the clouds from below. Finally, here in Cirque of the Towers, we get what we hiked for a week to find. So after 2 beautiful days of rest in the Cirque of the Towers, we began our trek back to our cars. 16 miles, multiple stream crossings, 1,000-foot climb to top it off, but we survived. We've been hiking for like 13 miles. We are so dead. But look, the cars. You've seen them. We're so close to dead.